A Chinese naval flotilla, including some of their most advanced destroyers, just completed a full circle around Japan's main islands. What's going on here? Is this a routine training exercise or a deliberate signal as tensions simmer across the Indo-Pacific? Let's break it down. In early October, Japan's Ministry of Defense sounded the alarm. They reported spotting a 6-ship Chinese naval group, led by a powerful Type 55 Rinhai-class destroyer, sailing through the Osumi Strait between Korea and Japan. Over the next 2 weeks, this flotilla traveled east through the Sea of Japan, passed through the Soya Strait north of Hokkaido, moved down the Pacific coast, and then finally exited through the Miyako Strait near Okinawa, effectively circumnavigating the country. This isn't the first time, but the composition of this fleet and the timing are what's raising eyebrows. Leading the pack was a Type 055, one of the world's most capable warships, often compared to the U.S. Arleigh Burke class. These destroyers are packed with over 100 vertical launch cells, capable of firing a mix of anti-air, anti-ship, and land attack cruise missiles. Accompanying it was a Type 052D destroyer, another modern and highly capable vessel, sometimes called the Chinese Aegis, along with a frigate and support ships. This isn't just a random collection of boats, it's a potent surface action group. The presence of these advanced missile destroyers sends a clear message of naval power projection. They're demonstrating the ability to operate far from home and sustain complex, long-range missions in contested waters. This isn't just about showing the flag. It's about showcasing a credible threat from multiple directions. So, how did Japan react? Officially, the Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force monitored the flotilla every step of the way, dispatching its own ships and aircraft to shadow the Chinese vessels. This is standard procedure. But beneath the surface, there's growing concern. Tokyo has been significantly increasing its defense budget and strengthening its alliance with the United States. This circumnavigation is seen by many in Japan as a direct response to these moves, as well as a challenge to the U.S.-Japan security alliance. It's a calculated maneuver designed to test Japan's response times, gather intelligence on their coastal defenses, and normalize the presence of the Chinese Navy in waters traditionally dominated by Japan and its allies. It essentially says, we can operate in your backyard whenever we choose. Now, let's connect the dots to another regional hotspot, the Philippines and the South China Sea. This naval maneuver didn't happen in a vacuum. It occurred amidst heightened friction between Manila and Beijing over contested features like the Second Thomas Shoal. The Philippines, also a U.S. treaty ally, has been more assertive in defending its maritime claims. By sailing around Japan, another key U.S. ally, China is signaling its broader strategic intentions. It's demonstrating that its naval reach isn't confined to the South China Sea. This action serves as a subtle reminder to countries in the region that challenging Beijing in one area could invite pressure in another. It's a classic geopolitical chess move, linking separate theaters of operation to create a wider strategic dilemma for the United States and its partners. This brings us to the bigger picture of Indo-Pacific unity. In response to China's growing military power, we've seen a tightening of alliances. The US, Japan, Australia, and India have revitalized the Quad. The AUKUS security pact between Australia, the UK, and the US is another example. There are also growing bilateral ties, like those between Japan and the Philippines, who are now conducting joint military exercises. China's circumnavigation of Japan can be seen as a direct counter to this coalescing security architecture. It's a show of force intended to intimidate and potentially create divisions among these allies. Beijing wants to demonstrate that despite these new partnerships, it remains the dominant regional military power and can project that power right up to the doorsteps of its main rivals. Let's visualize the route. Imagine a map of Japan. The flotilla started in the East China Sea, went north through the narrow Tsushima straight into the Sea of Japan. From there, it navigated the chilly Soya Strait between Japan's northernmost island of Hokkaido and Russia's Sakhalin Island, entering the open Pacific. Then, It sailed all the way down Japan's eastern coastline before cutting back west through the Miyako Strait, a critical choke point between Okinawa and Miyako Island. This path isn't accidental. Each of these straits is an internationally recognized waterway, so the passage was legal. But by using them all in one continuous voyage, the Chinese Navy practiced navigating key strategic passages that would be vital in any regional conflict. It's a route that encircles and effectively contains Japan's main home islands. So, what's the final verdict? Is this just routine training or a sign of rising tensions? The answer is both. On one hand, China correctly states that these are lawful training exercises in international waters, something all major navies do. It's a way for their sailors to gain experience in blue water operations. However, the political context is impossible to ignore. The timing, the advanced warships involved, and the specific route chosen all carry significant strategic weight. It's a form of military diplomacy or coercion, depending on your perspective. While it may not be a prelude to immediate conflict, it is undeniably part of a larger pattern of increased military assertiveness from Beijing. It's a new normal that raises the baseline for military tension in the Indo-Pacific, and one that the US and its allies are watching with extreme focus. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.